Hello friends, welcome back to my channel for another beauty related video. Today we're talking beauty and the tariffs. It's a little spin on the Beauty and the Beast, although I don't know that the tariffs are going to turn into adorable prince, but you know, we can hope. So today we're just gonna have a friendly chit chat as we get ready together. So I'm going to be using all older makeup. Some of them I've just not used in a while. Some of them are just newer to my collection, but it is all stuff that's been on the market for at least a little while, okay? We're just going to focus on getting ready and having a friendly chit chat about not necessarily like a lesson on the tariffs, because that's not something I'm trained in, and so I'm not going to pass on my level of knowledge in those things to y'all. But we're going to talk about how in the past our beauty industry has been going on a roller coaster with all these economic ups and downs, how we as consumers can help the smaller brands, the indie brands that we really are worried about if these tariffs continue, and especially if they continue for a long time. Okay, so this is going to be more or less a chit chat amongst friends. This is not going to be much of a lesson because I am not trained in economics. I am not trained in running a beauty business. This is going to be a friendly chit chat. Okay, I've got some coffee. I'm gonna probably put it right back here. Hope it's not distracting for you guys. Let's do our makeup together, or maybe you're doing some chores. Put me on and listen while you're doing whatever you need to be doing. And if you're getting ready with me, please leave me a comment letting me know what your favorite product is that you used on your face today. Coffee. Soul juice. When did we all just get, okay, I guess not all, but when did a majority of millennials decide that coffee was our drug? Because it really is. Like, I can't do much without coffee. And sometimes I don't even think it's the coffee anymore that's actually doing anything. I think it's the mental step of drinking coffee. I think that just triggers something in at least my brain. There is this really cool, not cool, but like there's this good, I think it was an Audible exclusive book that I listened to. It was a shorter one. I think it was just called Caffeine. And it was about this guy's journey going off of caffeine for a period of time, tracking what he learned about himself through it, and then also going back on it. It was a very interesting listen to. Anyway, I have digressed a lot. I'm gonna try not to do that too much, but like I said, this is a chat with friends. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Emma. I don't typically talk about things that are going on in the world like this, but it does affect beauty. It does affect us as consumers. It affects creators, and it affects the beauty industry as a whole. Whether you are just buying makeup for fun, or you are buying it to talk about it with other people, or you buy skincare because we all need skincare, right? This affects so many people, and that's why we're going to talk about it. Okay? So let's start getting ready. I already did my skincare for today, so I'm not going to show you that step. Now, I have been trying out, I have kind of adjusted my skincare routine a little bit in the last couple weeks, and I'm really enjoying what I've changed. And so if it goes another couple weeks where I'm really enjoying it, I'm going to talk to you about it, okay? I promise I am. So I typically start with my eyes, so I'm going to do that same thing today. I'm not going to talk much about any of the products I'm going to be using because that's not what this video is about today, but I'm going to jump into the Juvia's Place Magic Mini Palette. This one I am doing a competition, a pano project with a friend here on YouTube. If you want to see more about that, I will have that video linked somewhere. It'll also be just on my channel, super easy to find. I'm trying to hit pan in 4 in a row. I have 2 so far, and I'm working on those other 2. So I'm gonna use it again today. So beauty and the tariffs. Tariffs are here. I think they're probably going to stay at different levels. I think we're gonna have a roller coaster of them being here, them being on pause, them being in different amounts. And overall, no matter what, they're going to affect the beauty industry. And by beauty industry, I mean every part of beauty industry. So your makeup, your skincare, your hair care, your razors, your everything, okay? Everything. And the reason why that it's going to affect so much of it, well, a main reason why, not the only reason why, but a main reason why is because we do import a lot. We import ingredients, we import packaging, we import tools, we import on the manufacturing side, like the parts to run those big machines. Like we import so much from a wide variety of countries. So even companies that are US made will still be hit with it because there's very few companies, if any, that have nothing that is not imported at some level. Now, they might not be importing from countries that are going to be hit like real bad. So you might not see a huge difference in some of these, but we all import. We just do. Some of the biggest countries that we import from when it comes to makeup products, whether that be the ingredients, the packaging, all of that, it's gonna be Korea. Korean skincare especially is really popular right now in the United States. It's gonna be China. Even if the makeup portion isn't being imported from China, a lot of packaging is being imported from China. We also get a lot from Europe. Like especially higher end brands, we get a lot from Europe. Wow, this looks this looks crazy. I think something that people are starting to recognize is just how much we are importing. And I think that's kind of scaring people. And on the consumer side, with all of these tariffs and shipping costs and all of that. We get a ton from other countries too. It's just not those 3. Those are just some of the most well-known ones that we import a lot from. I've been starting to bring my eyeshadow base up here a little bit because I do get a lot of natural bluing, like blue in the inner. And so if I bring it up a little bit, it helps a lot. So what do these tariffs have to do with the companies? How are these going to affect the companies? Well, prices are going to raise for what they are making already. So if they're making something already and it's a set price, it's going to go up for them. It just is. And the amount it's going to go up is going to be dependent on not only amount of tariff, the percentage of the tariff, but also how long they last. Because if they last a couple days, well, that will make a little bit of a difference. It's not going to make a huge difference, but the longer they last, the bigger of a difference it's going to make for these companies. For larger companies, that's not going to be a huge issue because a lot of the larger companies are making a significant amount of profit. It doesn't mean they're not going to raise their prices because they want to keep that profit. I mean, they're in business, that's what they're going to do. But the smaller companies, our indie brands, those are the ones that are going to be affected the most because they typically don't have nearly the same profit margins because they're just not able to produce on the same levels. And so they're going to have to raise their prices. And raising their prices means that they're going to lose sales because there's people that are barely able to buy from them at the prices they are able to right now. So on a company level, especially for these indie brands, we're gonna see this really affect pricing. It's gonna affect possibly how many jobs that they have, probably how many launches they're able to do per year. If they don't move their manufacturing, the qualities with the prices going up will still stay the same. So if they're a company who maybe doesn't have your favorite formula, it's not going to all of a sudden become your favorite formula because the prices are going to go up. So you're going to like it even less, which is also dangerous for these indie brands. And a lot of times, indie brands are in contracts with these manufacturers, and so they can't just move. They can't just move their manufacturing like without breaking contracts, and that alone would cost a lot, would take a lot of time, and might not even be at all worth it. Especially when you don't know how long tariffs are going to stick around. So it's not just as simple or as easy as, well, that's easy, just move your manufacturing to a different company. No, they have contracts that might prevent that. And they have contracts that would probably keep it so they can't make those same formulas. So if it's a formula that everybody loves, imagine if they move it and they can't make that formula anymore. Are you still going to love that company as much if their formulas aren't really what you were looking for? No. Another reason why they're going to lose money if they do that. Okay, so I just did that one blue shadow, and I actually really like the way that I was able to just use that one and make it look like I have a couple different shades on. So I'm going to go do my brows and then we will continue this conversation. So what can we expect to see? Well, we can expect to see prices go up, especially if tariffs stay high enough and they stay for long enough. I do think we're gonna see it happen quicker with smaller brands and especially indie brands, because I feel like they're going to be affected the most by this because of their lack of bigger margins. I do think that we're gonna see some brands that are larger try to hold out for a little bit longer, kind of how like e.l.f. did in the very beginning of like 2020, and they tried not to raise their prices for a significant amount of time. I mean, eventually they did, but they tried not to. Now, whether or not that was for our benefit or theirs, let's be honest, they're a company, it's probably for their benefit because that kept them getting sales longer. Prices are just gonna raise, okay? And making this video, talking about this topic, watch, there's a pause, it changes. That's just what is gonna happen throughout all of this, okay? So tariffs are a political strategy, okay? They just are. At least that's what they're being used for right now. And in the world we're in right now, I don't see that going away. I just don't. Now, their levels can change, the amount of time that they're around can change, so those things can change. But ultimately, I don't think we're going to be seeing lowering of prices anytime soon, okay? We're just not. So, what does that mean for consumers? Because we're already, like, we're still buying our makeup. We still are. Studies have shown that we are. But we have seen in history, you know, when we go through economic crisis, we do slow down. And we do sometimes, unfortunately, go and complain about it to the companies who are raising their prices. And I can see sometimes why we do it, because sometimes we see these big companies raising their prices when they still have huge profit margins. So I can kind of understand why. Again, they're a company. They don't care. As long as they're going to make their sales, that's all they care about. Because they are a big company. It's what they do. But it's unfortunate when you start to see people going after the little guys. When you start to see people commenting more and more about how I cannot buy this because this is too expensive. Make this more affordable for all of us people. When these smaller companies don't have that kind of profit margin to be able to do that, to be able to always keep their prices low. So as consumers, I hope that through this, we're able to recognize that yes, this isn't ideal, okay? But maybe we take it upon ourselves to really focus in on supporting the companies that we want to continue to support, while also being consumers who are looking at our own finances really closely. I think I did a bit too much on the nose. I look crazy. This is a trust the process moment. These from NYX, the Buttermelt bronzers, are very pigmented. I typically will only use them underneath foundation because wow. Wow, wow, wow. So I was reading a couple articles about all of this and how this is going to affect the beauty industry, and it's all, you know, pretty expected, but it's also, there's a lot of like fear out there, which is understandable. But according to one of the articles I read by I think it was Allure, they said, and they posted this last week, and they said that with the tariffs that were supposed to go into effect last week, that I believe are for the most part paused right now, we could see our percentages, oh my gosh, this is really bad. Okay, our percentages in what we're paying go up from anywhere between 10% to 60%. Could you imagine a 60% jump on your favorite makeup? 60% jump on something like this, that's what, $10? So like another $6, that's a lot. 60% jump on that $50 eyeshadow palette? That would be insane. That would be beyond insane. And personally, as a consumer, there's no way I could take that on. There is no way. I could take on 10%. Okay, I wouldn't like it, but I could take it on. I could take on 25%. Again, I wouldn't like it, and I would be a lot more picky about what I'm buying, but I could take it. Higher than that, and I don't think I could stomach it. For makeup. Skincare, I might go down to a one-step skincare instead of 3 or 4. Shampoo, maybe we go back to the dollar store. That's not even a dollar store anymore. Like 60% would be ridiculous. So I really, really hope we don't see 60%, but we could. And that's the thing. That's the part that is scaring people. This is real fun looking. Isn't it fun looking, guys? Okay, so we've talked about the scary crap. We've talked about it enough. How do we help? How do we as consumers help keep our favorite brands afloat without, you know, destroying our own bank accounts? So I'm going in with the Essence Keep Me Covered Long Lasting Foundation. As of right now, they're still a really, really, really affordable brand. I hope it stays that way. So for those of us who are going to continue buying makeup, because if you're watching this video, if you're watching my channel, if you're watching beauty YouTube, chances are high you are one of those who are going to continue to buy, even as prices raise. You might not like it, but you're still gonna buy, okay? So I'm gonna talk first to those of you. I think what we can do is to be more picky about the brands that we're going to blindly support. I think we can be more like more picky about what we want to bring into our collection, making sure that the things we are bringing in are things that are going to last us a while and are ones that we're going to really enjoy, instead of just trying out every new thing. Maybe being more picky and maybe zeroing in on certain brands that we want to support and see succeed and see not disappear. Okay, I haven't used this in a while. I'm scared. I forgot that this was a medium to full coverage, and I think I put too much. Hold on. Guys, I'm a ghost. The funny thing is, it kind of matches this section right here of me. Yeah, I'm a ghost. Okay. Let that settle for a second. I don't need this extra pump here. I'm so glad that didn't drip onto my shirt. I just used the Pure, I don't know, Lit Mist. I don't even know if they still have this anymore. I'm just trying to get through it because I keep forgetting I have it. It does have like some sparkles in it, but like I don't ever see that showing up on my skin. So I've been using it in between steps to kind of help out a little bit. I'm just gonna let that sit for a second, and then we're gonna add some more blush and some more stuff. And I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but I can see definitely where that underpainting is, which is why it's okay that it looked so strong. And I can see it really did help on that nose. So yes, that looked cray-cray, but now we're looking okay. Sort of. So, what else can we do? So maybe instead of buying every single thing that somebody that is put out that we want to try, we be a little bit more selective with our purchases. Maybe we pick a couple brands and we try our best to mostly buy from them, and hopefully they are smaller brands that we can help try to keep afloat. Again, that is if you are somebody who's going to be able to continue to purchase makeup that has price ranges. Now, maybe you're in the category of people who's going to cut back your spending, and maybe you're in the category of people who feels like maybe you're just gonna take a huge break and only use what you already own, but you don't want to see these companies disappear. There are still things that you can do that help the companies without you spending any money. Those things are so easy. When brands that you love make posts on any social media, when they announce things, when they make a post about even their daily life, because some of the brands do that, not very many, but some of them do. Just like them, just interact with them. Like them. If you have a comment that goes with that or is helpful in that post, comment. Reaction to the post. And if it's a post that you feel like anybody you have on your socials would relate to, would enjoy seeing, share it, because it gives those brands more views. And even if you share 50 different things from a brand, and that means that they get, let's just say 50 views, eventually that will lead to another new customer for them who maybe is in a place that they can spend the extra money. And you never know who that person is. So sharing, liking, commenting, it helps out the brands so much. Obviously, spending our money with the brands is going to be the biggest help. But sharing the love, introducing them to new people, that's going to not only keep them going, but it could also, when things go back down and when things get a little easier on the economy, because it happens, it will happen eventually again, it has built-in customers to help them succeed. Okay, there is one last thing I want to say that I feel like as consumers we can do a little bit better. Now, this is something I have a few people in my personal life that I have seen do this. And so if you're watching this, I'm not trying to call you out, but I'm also trying to call you out, okay? As consumers, we need to work on being more picky with what we are choosing to purchase so that we aren't doing mass returns, because it's wasteful. It's just plain old wasteful. I have spoken with people who were literally going to the store, seeing something they like, deciding to purchase it with no real thought, with the mindset of, I'm just going to take it home, wear it for a couple days, and if I don't like it, I'm just going to return it. And they do that over and over and over and over again. And it's not only detrimental to the companies, it's bad for the environment. Like, it's so bad. You're wasting so much. They can't resell that. It has to go straight to the trash. I understand that sometimes things happen. That's understandable. I understand that sometimes you buy something and you try it out and you try to make it work and there's just no way. Or maybe sometimes you buy something and the thing breaks. And you're like, wait, I spent good money on this. This shouldn't be happening. That's a different story. But to go in to purchase things, whether it be in store or online, with the thought at the beginning, I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna swatch it, I'm gonna use it. If I don't like it in the first few days, I'm gonna return it. That is a mentality I cannot understand. That is a mentality I cannot get behind. And that is one of the things that when people tell me this, I lose it in my head. There's very few things that I have very, very, very strong opinions on, and that is one of them. It just is. So if you are somebody who is a habitual returner, I think that's the right word, please consider how that is affecting the businesses you are worried about disappearing. Please consider the fact that that is harmful and it wastes your own time. Like, it really does. Yes, I do think the returns and all that should be there for broken products, for things that like react horribly on your skin. Like, you have a reaction, you didn't have any idea that that was going to happen. Okay, sure. But to go in with it, with the mindset of, I'm going to spend $500 today and I'll just return it. Please stop. Please stop. Just stop. That's not going to help anybody. Okay, let's finish this makeup on. This has settled. I'm going to go into my iconic London Blaze Chaser face palette. This is currently brought in for a project. I think it was Deck of Peony. I don't remember which one it is. I want to say it's the bronzer. I don't know, but we're going to use all of it today. So I'm going to dip into both of the bronzers. I like to layer them, and I'm going to put that on top. I haven't used this foundation in a while, and I kind of forgot how like full coverage it is. But I will say, like, the underpainting I did is still coming through. So that's good. It means it's not like super 100% full coverage. I'm not the biggest fan of the way it's laying on my skin today, but that's a me issue. So I struggle with anything that's not a skin tint because my skin is either consistently dry or consistently textured. And there is nothing in between. Like if it's looking really moisturized and really supple and really good to go, it is super textured. And if it is not super textured, it is just dry patches. So I've been, add that to the fact that it's starting to age and get little wrinkles and lines and everything. I don't think it's the foundation's fault. I don't. I think this is actually one of the nicer, fuller foundations that I have tried. So just gonna add some bronzing back. That'll help also to make this color work a little bit better. And because I've already like set it with that spray, I try to just tap. Not that I feel like this foundation breaks up easily, but I don't want to take a chance. So I do find that if you tap it, it works a little bit better. So tell me, friends, what are you thinking? Are you thinking you're going to change your shopping strategies? Are you thinking you're going to zone in on maybe zoom in, I don't know, on maybe very specific brands that you want to make sure you do everything you can to keep afloat? I think that my shopping style is not going to necessarily change as far as that goes, because I do already have a favorite eyeshadow brand that I buy from, and I'm going to keep trying to support that brand. But I do think it just means that if prices raise, which we know is gonna happen, it's just gonna mean that I can't support as much in that way. So I will make sure to continue to like their stuff, to share their stuff. The brand that I personally want to make sure does not disappear is Nomad Cosmetics. If you didn't know that, welcome to my channel. I'm a Nomad Cosmetics fan, and I have not even all of their palettes, although sometimes it feels like it. I do. But I will continue to support them in every way I possibly can. So without getting, you know, political in the comments, tell me what brands you are going to focus on. What are the top 2 brands that if they disappeared today, you would not survive? I mean, I know that's a little dramatic, but like realistically, which brands would you just be completely heartbroken by if they decided to make the financial decisions to close their doors? Let me know in the comments below. Maybe we'll find some brands we need to be reaching out and supporting. Maybe we'll find some brands that really, maybe this will be their breaking point and sadly we'll see disappear, but hopefully we can support while still being true to what our own needs are, because we can't help brands if we aren't in a good spot ourselves, right? Okay, so this is coming together, but I will say that I think that this is too late. I think that this is my Dead of Winter shade, and it's a little too ghostly. And it's really interesting because it's making that blue look strange. I gotta figure something out. I need to add some thin. Well, I mean, okay, lipsticks will help. Lip product will help, and mascara will help. Something else that I've been considering doing is actually going and buying stuff right now. Like, not going into debt, not using a credit card to do this, but if I have extra money, maybe I go and make the purchases now before prices raise. Might be a good idea. And there are some good sales going on right now. Like the Sephora sale is going on until the 14th, I believe. I don't know, just some ideas. Okay, so this is where we're sitting right now. This foundation is definitely much too light for me for now, which is interesting to me because, like, yes, it goes better with my skin down here, which is what you're supposed to do, but like at the same time, it doesn't look good. I like to go a little darker than what I am down here, and then I bring it down a little bit, and I make more of a gradual. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna add a little bit of blue down here. Just the tiniest amount, I think. Let's see. Oh, okay, that made a difference. Okay. Okay, before I put on my mascara and lip products, I'm going to use the L'Oreal 3-Second Setting Mist. I've used this a few times recently, and it's not a new product by any means. I'm just trying to see if it's one I like. Now, I'm gonna say that this is already looking dry. And again, I don't think it's the foundation. It's just me. No, not dry. It's textured, which is giving dry. But I don't have a dewy setting spray right now. So we're just gonna use this. All right, all right. I think it's funny that it smells exactly like their hairsprays. All right, I'm gonna let that set down for a minute, change my battery, and then we'll finish up this look and finish up this conversation. So for mascara, I am using one that's been in my collection for a very long time, and I just need to use it up before it goes bad. This is Item Lash Snack Lengthening Mascara. I love the ombre. I really, really do. And the packaging is nice, but I don't love the formula, and I don't think I like this bristle. It's just such a small little thing with not really much shape to it. Makes it a little easier to, you know, maneuver, but it's just so small. So. For my lips, I think I'm going to do the Essence 8-Hour Matte in Silky Hazelnut, and then I think I'm gonna go into my NARS lipstick, which I've only used it a few times. This is the shade Raquel. I'm not sure if they're gonna be a great match, but I'm just gonna try it, okay? So I really hope that while we talked about things that, you know, can be scary, I really hope that this video felt like a conversation with a friend, being able to get those worries out, but also a very good reminder of an easy path forward of ways we can support the brands we love. I really hope so, because that was the intent. So if it didn't hit that intent, I'm sorry. If I was all over the place, also, again, I'm sorry. I was really just trying to go for a friendly chit chat. Hopefully I hit the mark. We'll see in editing how this is. So those two are not a perfect match, but they are, I think, a great complement to each other. I don't know, I think it came together. What do you think? Let's see how puffy my hair is. It's okay. You know, maybe I'll just leave it back. I kind of like this pulled back type of look. Like, this is the type of look that I used to wear all the time. I do think that this foundation is a little too light for this time of year. So I'm gonna have to figure that out, because I am trying to use it up before it goes bad. So we'll see. I do also think that it looks a little bit better in person than it is showing on the camera. So hopefully in editing, it won't be as bright white as I am seeing. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed getting ready with me. I hope you enjoyed our conversation. I hope you go forth, support the brands you love, and I hope you'll also come back for another video. If you have more time right now to sit and watch more from me, I should have some videos popping up on the screen about now. I'd love for you to click on either one of those and check out what else I talk about. I love that you are here. Thank you so much for staying all the way through to the end. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in a video very, very soon. Bye-bye.